Joshua Traynor.
All right, and we are here today to help you guys get set up for your lab. So my fabulous nephew Joshua is here to help, and he was super excited about the last video, so he volunteered. Are you ready? Okay, so I'm going to be asking Josh some questions, and as I'm asking Joshua some things, you're going to answer. This isn't scripted or anything. You just tell me what you think, okay? So what we're going to be doing is measuring speed. We're going to be measuring of how fast things roll, okay?
Yep.
And yes, we are. So here is our question. Does a ball, what do you think, Josh? Does a ball rolling down a ramp move at the same average speed as it started if it started from different places? So for instance, if I rolled a ball from up higher down a ramp versus lower down a ramp, do you think it'll roll about the same average speed?
No.
Why?
Because the friction of like the fall depends on how high it rolls. Because if I bring down the ramp from the top, then I'll go faster than like if I went halfway down the ramp.
So what you're saying is friction has something to do with it, and then the longer you run down the ramp, the faster you go.
And gravity.
And gravity.
Yeah.
I don't even think we have to do this lab because I think
forgot.
you got it. Yeah,
We
okay.
forgot about gravity.
All right, so what we're going to do, Josh, is we're going to help my students over here get set up for their lab.
You guys.
So I gave you guys a list of materials the last few days, so we're going to go over them really quickly. A ramp, a marble or a small ball, some kind of a stopwatch, a small amount of clay or tape or something like that, and a measuring device, a ruler, a meter stick, etc. So Joshua went online and, well, I actually went online and printed it out. And I went to printablерulers.net. Can y'all see that? Printablерulers.net. And we printed out a meter stick. So Josh, you glued the first 3 together. So if you could go ahead and glue this last piece on here to make a great big meter stick, I would really appreciate that. And while he's getting that ready, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can build a ramp. Hopefully, some of you guys have looked around and you've been keeping your eyes open for things that could make a ramp and something that rolls. So I'm going to show you a few different ways to do it. First of all, we have a measuring tape. If you have a measuring tape, great. If you don't have that kind of measuring tape, go to that website and print off a meter stick. So we're going to go ahead and put this down for now, Josh. Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
All right. And now I'm going to show you one way that you can make a ramp. If you happen to have a great big soccer ball, put that one down for a second, I'll get to that.
Or if you have
or a basketball.
or if you have a basketball.
Okay, there you go. Or some kind of big sports ball.
Yep.
You can, not a football though, something that rolls freely you could use.
Football.
Don't worry about the football. Hold this for a second, Josh. Okay. Now, if you're going to use a big ball, a big sports ball, you're going to need a larger ramp. So I have this big piece of plyboard right here. And what you're going to make sure that you're able to do with your ramp is you're going to put something underneath it so it rolls. Now watch this though, because your ball, this is so much fun. Your ball is going to have to roll fast enough and in one direction enough, perfect, that it doesn't like go off the side or anything like that, but slowly enough that you can time it well. So you don't want it to go so fast that you're not able to use the stopwatch to time it, okay?
Also, if you make the ramp higher or lower, it'll also affect the speed.
That's true. If you make it higher or lower, it'll definitely affect the speed.
Like this
So, Joshua.
versus this.
Yes, that's very true. All right, so another way that you can make a ramp another way that you can make a ramp, if you don't have a big old piece of plyboard,
You can go to the store and like print one these.
that's actually not for the store. It's actually a corner of a box.
Oh.
This is a reinforced cardboard for the corner of a box, and these are they make great ramps. So if you happen to have a side of a cardboard box, you can use this. And this is where the little piece of clay comes in.
That is actually a food called, what is it?
Fondant.
Fondant.
I don't have any clay, but I had fondant, so we actually used a little bit of fondant.
Or you can have a marble.
Okay, Joshua. So the fondant is here just to kind of stick the ramp in place. Go ahead and put that down. Yeah, right? So then it stops it from wobbling around. But again, you don't want it to get so high. Whoops, we'll get that in a second. You don't want it to get so high that the marble moves too fast. If you have If you have a little ramp, you're going to use a little marble. So let's go ahead.
I said marble.
Go ahead. Perfect. Now, if you don't happen to have a marble and you don't happen to have a corner of a piece of cardboard,
Can
you can use something. Hold on just a second.
Can you use like a phone like this? Or
No, it'd be too small. That's a good question, though. It'd be too small. But you can use something a little bit longer like this, and even a battery or any cylindrical item, a pencil, a pen. And again, if you're going to use something small, you don't want to. You don't want it to be so steep that you can't measure the speed of the battery.
Also, you can do something that like a piece of like that and put it this way, but it wish not speed that long.
Okay, you ready?
It failed.
This is crazy. So the other thing that you're going to need to be able to do is get 5 different launch zones. So you're going to take your measuring tape, whatever it happens to be, and you're going to divide your ramp out into 5 even destinations.
Yes.
So if this is 40 inches, you're going to divide 40 by 5, and you're going to go ahead and mark those launch zones off.
And you can even use another piece of like clay or whatever, and you can just break off your piece and make it into a marble.
And make it like a little marble out of that, a little
or if you can have this, it's just here, but we're not going to do that because we're using it.
as you eat my lab supplies, Josh. All right. So quick setup, guys. You need something to roll on. You need something to roll. You need something to time how fast the thing is moving. And you need something to measure it with. So besides that, I think that we are golden. Are you ready to start the lab? All right, high five.
It keeps going down my throat.
Stop the nonsense. That was something.
It keeps going down my